Hello everyone, Banyuki here again with another video, and today I'm going to be looking over a new TV purchase that I picked up over the Black Friday weekend. I was able to score a 55-inch Samsung S90 Foxtrot for $850. They're on sale right now through Cyber Monday for $1,200, dropped down from $1,600. And I got a pretty good deal, local place, video only. They basically said, hey, we have trade-in on TV. So I took a TV to them. They went from $1,200 to $900, and the guy gave me a $50 break. And then when I went to trade in the TV, he said, hey, you know what? That TV you have, it was an Insignia that it was bought years ago. Piece of crap TV. But he said, hey, you know what? Don't even bother. Merry Christmas. And he just let me have it. Cool. So anyhow, we are here, and I am matching it on the Mister FPGA. As you can see, I'm using direct video going through the Pixel FX Morph right here. And I'm going to do a little color comparison. I've been trying to dial these settings in, and this TV is pretty incredible. And it's starting to get to the point now where this QD-OLED, it's so bright, and it's such a good picture with the contrast that I can finally start saying to myself, all right, it might be time to retire the great old CRT. And I have a couple CRTs, as you can see here. I still have the XBR 960, and I still have this XBR 200, and of course my Apple Studio monitor. But this screen, this QD-OLED is ridiculous. So let's do a little test here. I am using direct video. I'm using component out through the analog I/O on the MisterPI, and I'm using direct video on the to the Morph. So right now it's just going through its little signal change for the core. It pretty much does this, and as you can see, we're getting Tales of Fantasia coming up, and it looks phenomenal on. It looks good on both, but honestly, it's so the whites and everything are so much brighter on the QD-OLED. It's unbelievable that I cannot believe OLED. Now, I have an LG OLED right there. That is a 42C2. And I did have them against each other just to see which one would do better. It's a no-brainer. The QD-OLED not only pops more, has more color. The only downside with the QD-OLED is, as you can see right now, I have the lights on, right? So in a lit room, it is true. The QD-OLED has raised blacks. It does. You can see right here. Look, there's the LG OLED pure black, and the QD-OLED is like a kind of like a dark gray, like a really dark gray, but it is lit up. It reminds me of my projector, honestly, where it gets dark, but it's not completely black. Okay, that's with the lights on. With the lights off, it's equally dark, but this has the highlights. So that TV was rated for like, I don't know, I think it has like 800 nits or something. This one has 1400. So we're talking about peak 10%. But the thing that I noticed about the QD-OLED versus the WOLED, which is what the this LG has, there's something about the colors just pop. Like it, here, I'll give you an example, okay? Let me pick up a game that I can always pick up as, here's my test right here. Now, the scroll for the intro on Super Castlevania 4, it has a very dynamic font as it's coming down when it talks about Dracula and everything. And the CRTs, they make that text scroll look incredible. It just looks really good, and it pops. There's like a little dark green, then there's a very, very popping whitish green, and then it goes back to dark green again. On the OLED, I just get the dark green, and it gets a little bit lighter, but there's no pop there. Even with HDR10, even going through the Pixel FX, even all that. However, on the QD-OLED, you're about to see that it pops. I don't know if the video is going to be able to catch it, but it reproduces the same kind of pop that you get on a CRT. So take a look. Look, I've got them both right now. Take a look. They look pretty similar. And this is with the lights on. With the lights off, believe it or not, the QD-OLED's representation looks even better. So, I don't know if you can see it on here. Oh yeah, you can kind of see it. So basically, as I zoom in, the font, that's right, I have scan lines and everything, the font and the map. As you can see, it's like a dark green, then it goes to a like whitish green, and then goes back to a dark green. The CRT does that as well. Take a look at the CRT. It does it also. The top is green, then there's a white green, and then it goes back to green. The brightness on this, it actually has that. And yes, I am using HDR. On the LG, it does not do that. That 42C2 just simply does not do that. I've tested it out many times. Now here's what's gonna blow everyone's mind. These two look pretty damn close, don't they? They do, they do. The motion is great and everything. Here's the kicker though. I've been showing you guys how bright this QLED is. However, this is with the Morph4k's black frame insertion implementation on. No joke. Check it out. BFI has been on. That's how bright this QD-OLED is. This QD-OLED is brighter than my CRT now while having BFI on. That is amazing. BFI on the TVs themselves are not that great, but the Morph does a really nice job of BFI. Look at the difference now when I take the BFI off. Significantly brighter. Too bright from my eyes. Too bright. It's too much for this room. But in a dark room, I look like it. So you see that's off and that's on. With it on, with it on, it looks like the CRT. And this is not at its brightest. I assure you it's not. But with it off, it's almost too bright. It's unbelievable how great this television is. There's going to be a lot of bells and whistles. You can always take a look, but with the BFI off, it's really it's almost too bright. So you could tone it down a little bit, and there you go. But yeah, this TV is incredible. I paired it up. Like I said, I'm doing direct video. You can see it straight up. And the Pixel Morph, you know, I was using it for the 540p with the CRT, but unfortunately, they have announced that the cross point, which is what I've been waiting for, is they're not even looking at that thing till second quarter next year. So I guess I'll start using the Morph for what its intended use was, 4K, you know, upscaling. But you can see right there, I'm using direct video, Super Nintendo Core, 1440 to 1080, and I am using 1080p, 120 hertz, so I can get that BFI. So now it looks good. The motion is good. The brightness with the mask. Just to show you how ridiculous this TV is, watch this. Let's go to RetroFX. I have the scan lines on adaptive with saturation and strength at 100. And the mask with course 1 to give me those really, really nice little rectangular squares. Just like, rectangular square, but you know what I mean? Like those little pixels, the mask. So it looks like this Aperture Grill Sony. And I have it maxed out. And it's still this damn bright with BFI on. Unbelievable. It is crazy how far things have gotten in terms of tech. I don't know. I heard people say that QD-OLED, you know, the downside to QD-OLED is that you're looking at, you know, it might burn out faster. I don't know. The technology's only been around a few years. I do know that QD-OLEDs are a thing for actual PC monitors. They have a whole bunch of them. But I did buy this TV for $850. I needed a 55 for the space. 55 is more than enough. But I must say, this is probably the best TV I've ever purchased. And that's, you're coming from a guy who has OLED all around. You know, I got my OLED glasses. This blows that away. I've got this 42C2. I've got an 83C1 downstairs that's supposed to have the bee's knees when it comes to motion handling. And it's great and everything, but you pair up this Samsung with the Morph4k and its bells and whistles, and it really brings a lot out of these games. Like, I can honestly, I don't want to get rid of the CRT, but now I feel like I could, because with the BFI so bright, and it's still having those OLED quality blacks, with the scan lines and the masking, I don't need this anymore. I mean, I love this TV. It's great. It's Trinitron, but I don't need it anymore. I can sell it, give it away, and just focus on this one being my main display. And now I truly don't feel like I'm missing anything. And that's hard. You know, anyone who's followed this channel for years knows I'm a big fan of the big bulky CRTs. But this is it. 2025 QD-OLED, Samsung. You got it going on. I am a little worried about burning. Of course, all of us are, but at least for now, it looks incredible. It takes my breath away. And like I said, this is with BFI on. It's one thing to do this kind of brightness with BFI off, but with black frame insertion on, it is insane. Like, it just blows my mind. So that's the PSA. That's the review. This TV is the bee's knees. It's the Samsung S90F. It does not have the anti-glare coating on it. It's straight up glossy. I'm doing this with the lights on so you guys get a good representation, but I'm telling you, with the lights off, it looks even better. Yes, it looks even better. It actually beats the CRT, and that's a tough thing for me to swallow. So anyway, folks, enjoy your holiday season, but if you're gonna go buy out a TV for gaming, specifically retro gaming, this is the one to get. Take care.